She kicked the cabin door open like she owned it, her voice sharp enough to slice the silence as she shouted, "This cabin is illegal. You're trespassing on HOA property," waving a folder stuffed with papers that looked more like they'd been copied from the internet than anything official. Karen marched in with her usual fake authority, her blazer sharp but her hands shaking. I didn't even move, just sat by the fire, sipping my coffee, letting her rant, because she had no idea who was sitting at the small wooden table across from the state attorney general himself, flipping through real documents with calm, steady eyes, as if her nonsense was just background noise. Karen stormed closer, pointing her finger at me and threatening, "Pack up your things or I'll have the sheriff drag you out." Her voice cracked, but she didn't notice the smirk tugging at the attorney general's mouth. She leaned down, lowering her tone as if revealing a dark secret. "This lakefront doesn't belong to you anymore. I run the association here. You follow my rules or lose everything." Then she tossed her fake notice onto the table, right in front of his coffee cup, still not realizing who he was. For a moment, the only sound was the fire popping, until the Attorney General finally spoke, his voice calm but cutting. "Interesting claim. And where exactly did you get the authority to say this?" Karen froze, blinking, caught off guard, but quickly forced a laugh and said, "I don't need permission. I am the authority here." That's when I leaned forward, locking eyes with her. "Karen, you just tried to evict me from my own cabin. And you did it in front of the one man in this state who decides if what you're doing is legal or criminal." Her fake smile faltered, but she still pushed back, hissing, "You'll regret this." Her mask cracked, her hands trembled, and the Attorney General just leaned back, silently watching her dig her own grave. She waved her papers like a shield, stammering, This is official HOA business. You can't just," but he raised a hand and cut her off. "Miss Karen, your notices are not recognized by any legal authority. You do realize that, don't you?" His calm tone made her stumble. I have the right." But I leaned back and said, "The only right you have is to watch me enjoy my property while you embarrass yourself." Red-faced, she snapped, "You think you're clever? I've handled people like you before." I smirked. "Really? 'Cause I've handled people like you too." Just then, her phone rang. She snatched it up, whispering frantically, Yes, I'm at the cabin." "No, he's still here." Her eyes darted toward the Attorney General, panic flashing across her face. I need backup," she whispered. Backup. That's when I saw at the moment her world collapsed. She thought she was calling fake cops or HOA enforcers, but instead, her call routed directly to the state's legal enforcement office. Her face drained of color. They're sending someone," she muttered, frozen. The Attorney General leaned forward slightly, his tone almost amused. "Seems like your allies aren't as reliable as you thought." She shuffled her papers desperately, but her hands shook too badly to hold them. "I can fix this." "I can," but he cut her off with a raised brow. "Do you know what impersonating law enforcement can lead to?" she gasped. I didn't." I leaned in. "Karen, you tried to drag me off my land using fake authority. You threatened my family. And now the state attorney general is here, watching you unravel." Her knees buckled as headlights flashed outside. A black SUV pulled up, slow tinted windows hiding the agents inside. Karen's phone buzzed again. She glanced down and her voice cracked. "State Enforcement Unit. They're here." I smiled. "Yes, Karen, and they want to speak with you before anyone else does." Her fake confidence vanished as two uniformed officers stepped onto the porch. One spoke, calm but firm. "Miss Karen, you're under investigation for impersonating law enforcement and harassment of private property owners. Please step outside and cooperate." Her mouth opened, but only stammers came out. I wasn't impersonating. It's just..." The taller officer added, "Ma'am, We have reports of multiple false HOA notices and harassment complaints filed against you. This isn't just about today. Karen's face went pale as her empire crumbled in front of us. She tried to grab her phone, but the officer gently took it from her. I leaned back, letting it play out. This was her downfall, her so-called power collapsing under the weight of real law. She made one last desperate cry. You can't do this. This is my community. But the Attorney General rose, his voice cutting sharp. Miss Karen, authority comes from the law, not entitlement. And today, your entitlement ran out. Her face twisted in disbelief, but the officers flanked her and guided her toward the SUV. She shouted, "You don't understand who I am." And I smirked. "Oh, I understand perfectly. You're the kind of person who thinks rules don't apply until the law shows up." The door shut, muffling her screams, and the SUV rolled away. For the first time that night, I exhaled. The Attorney General gave me a small nod. You handled that well. I shrugged. Just another day on my property. But then he leaned closer, lowering his voice. There's one more thing. Karen wasn't acting alone. We've traced several complaints to her allies on the HOA board. Some are already under investigation. My stomach tightened, but satisfaction spread through me. It wasn't just her. It was an entire network. So she's not the only one abusing power, I asked. Exactly, he said. And thanks to today, we have the evidence to bring them all down legally. Later, as the sun set across the lake, my wife came outside holding our child and whispered, "Looks like they finally met someone who won't back down." I nodded, knowing the war wasn't over, but the tide had turned. By morning, the town buzzed with the news Karen being escorted away. Her fake notices mocked online, neighbors finally speaking out. The board members who backed her were now being investigated. The Attorney General confirmed everything was filed. This sends a clear message, he said. Entitlement has consequences. I smiled, sipping coffee on the porch, feeling peace return until one last twist. A drone hovered over the lake and landed in the grass with a note attached. You haven't seen the last of me. I laughed softly, shaking my head. No, Karen, the law has seen enough of you. And as the lake shimmered in the morning light, I realized some battles are worth fighting, and some victories are unforgettable.